Hello YouTube, hello Facebook, hello the world overall, and a special hello to Thezzo because this video is actually for you. My name is Gavin, and these are the 10 key facts about Anonymous. First off, Anonymous hacktivists. It's a collection of people with the aim to expose government and establishment hypocrisy. And I'm going to take a closer look at the group, its offshoots, and its infamous attacks. Because, shit, it's anonymous. What else? Okay. First off, the Anonymous Hacktivist Collective. Also, you can find the article on this at darkreadings.com/attacks and breaches /who is anonymous. 10 key facts. Okay. So that being said, number one. The Anonymous Hacktivist Collective, known as much for its self-branding as anything goes anti-authoritarian sense of online comeuppance, first came to public attention in January of 2008. The occasion was an internal Scientology video starring Tom Cruise, which had been leaked to YouTube. The church said that the video was copyrighted, requested that YouTube remove it. Members of Anonymous, however, took issue with that request. And as part of what it dubbed Project Chinology, reportedly began launching distributed denial of services DDoS attacks against Scientology. Websites blanketing church centers with prank phone calls and faxes, and doxing the church by releasing its sensitive documents, I got flies everywhere, into the public domain. For example, via peer-to-peer networks like uTorrent and LimeWire and Napster and a whole bunch of different ones. Anyways, on January 21st, 2008, a YouTube post set the template for future anonymous proclamations. The video, in this case, criticizing the Church of Scientology, includes the now common anonymous sign-off: "Knowledge is free. We are anonymous. We are legion. We do not forgive. We do not forget. Expect us." By next month, Anonymous claimed that 7,000 people had staged protests outside of Scientology centers and around the world, many of them sporting the now famous black and white Guy Fawkes masks, as worn by the protagonist of the film V for Vendetta, to hide his identity. Notably, in the film, the masses also wore it as they rose up to help overthrow the ruling dictatorship. And that scene was absolutely... Max, you want another piece of watermelon? Max. Dick, go. My dog, baby. Okay. And it was absolutely mind-blowing, that one particular scene. I love V for Vendetta to death. By early 2008, Anonymous, which reportedly grew out of the anarchic 4chan image board website, was already pursuing online attacks as a form of nonviolent protest. By 2010, it was launching regular DDoS attacks against pro-copyright websites. But the group really came to public prominence during its defense of WikiLeaks and its charismatic, if reportedly mercurial, leader, Julian Assange. WikiLeaks, of course, came under fire from the U.S. government after the site obtained video footage from a U.S. helicopter strike in Iraq that killed 2 Reuters employees, as well as 2 children. Next, Assange began to coordinate, together with major newspapers in multiple countries, the release of hundreds of thousands of secret U.S. government cables beginning in December of 2010. The government orchestrated reaction was swift. PayPal and credit card processors, MasterCard and Visa, blocked payments to WikiLeaks, which relied on donations to lease server space and pay staff. There's a short lifespan for a whistleblowing website that can't remain online. In response, Anonymous mobilized, unleashed its so-called low-orbit ion cannon, or LOIC, tool, with which anyone could participate in anonymous DDoS attacks by lobbing packets at designated websites. From there, meanwhile, Anonymous expanded its focus and, backed by what appear to be numerous international chapters, has tackled everything from cartels in Mexico and child porn file sharing sites to takedowns of Israeli government servers and U.S. law enforcement agencies. Now, we're going to keep reading to get a better look at this. So, with that being said, and that is a awesome. Okay. Operation Payback was an effort to back WikiLeaks, but was it effective? Anonymous isn't dedicated to knocking power grids offline or crippling hardened military communication networks. Rather, it's online activism in the form of a PR campaign. Notably, the group launched DDoS attacks against the websites MasterCard and Visa, highlighting their refusal to accept donations bound for WikiLeaks. But rather than disrupting those companies' payment networks, which would have hit their bottom lines, WikiLeaks supporters merely knocked the company's public-facing websites offline. So they're kind of weird like that, in a strange, awesome way. One of the most fascinating chapters in Anonymous history concerned Aaron Barr, the CEO of HB Gary Federal, who bragged about how he'd infiltrated Anonymous and was set to reveal the identities of its key leaders. Anonymous responded by hacking into HB Gary's email server less than 24 hours later and claimed that a 16-year-old girl had socially engineered the social media friendly Barr. Anonymous, including future LulzSec leader Sabu, the rumor goes, then released a slew of emails claiming that HB Gary had been retained by the Bank of America on the recommendation of the Department of Justice to help it wage an anti-WikiLeaks campaign. After the whistleblowing website claimed to have damning emails about the bank's Sorry, I am actually reading off the website, so other than that, it's giving you a treat. Oh my! Okay. On the recommendation of the Department of Justice to help it wage an anti-WikiLeaks campaign. After the whistleblowing website claimed to have damning emails about the bank's building programs, which is strange. Other emails, meanwhile, detailed the secret cyber warfare tool building program. Fuck me. Programs. My eyes are all over the place. As well as legally questionable activities. Barr, meanwhile, canceled his appearance on a DEF CON July 2011 panel titled Whoever Fights Monsters, Aaron Barr, Anonymous, and Ourselves. So that was actually kind of trippy in a way. Oh, Max, I don't have any more watermelon slices for you. Okay. LulzSec, laughing at your security since 2011. Yeah, fine. Arguably, the anonymous hacktivist offshoot group known as LulzSec LOL's being slang for laugh out loud. No, it's LOL. Whatever. Not the point. Max, fuck off. Love you, boy. Love you. Yeah, okay. Okay. Arguably, I don't. Okay. Arguably, the anonymous hacktivist offshoot group known as LOLsick, LOLs being slang for laugh out loud, actually that's LOLs, not LOLs, typically at the expense of others, outlaws the anonymous collective through the audacity of its public relations campaign. Combined with the near constant doxing, the group became widely known only for its witty proclamations delivered via pastebin and Twitter and nicknames, but also for its aggressive use of ASC2 art as the group members' erudite handles. Okay. Authorities ultimately arrested a teenager, Jake Davis, in Scotland and charged him with being LOLsick's PR director. Topiary, the group's leader, and Sabu remains at large and active with anonymous related operations. So, out of the three, and it's kind of hilarious that Scott got his ass kicked. Where is it? Topiary, the group's. Yeah. God. Anyways, it's good that Sabu kind of realized what the fuck was going on and then decided, you know what, I'm just going to back away from you, asshole. Fuck off. Go home. Okay, so, they're not all bad. They're actually pretty cool. But I'd never join. I mean, I'd support. I'm moral support. That's what I'm good for. I'm happy. Okay, then there's Anti-Sec. Damn. While LOLsick announced its retirement, or at least the retirement of its brand name, members of the group went on to commission and likely participate in a co-branded effort with Anonymous dubbed Operation Anti-Sec. The new effort was ostensibly devoted to taking down established information security vendors on account of their scaremongering techniques. But practically speaking, many of the group's exploits have involved hacking into law enforcement agencies' websites and databases, defacing those websites, and releasing personal information on law enforcement personnel. Targets have included the organization as diverse as the Arizona Department of Public Safety and the Zimbabwean government. Shit. This is why I always, make videos towards the main body, because they have their shit together. They know what the fuck is going on. Okay, how do you operate an online group of hacktivists that embrace anonymity and pursue a common purpose while preventing anyone from labeling any type of attack or data dump as being anonymous led? That operation, if not existential issue, has bedeviled the group. Or perhaps for a band devoted to online protests with heavy doses of anarchy and irony. It just enhances its profile. Notably, a Facebook porn spam attack, a file sharing site, anonymousupload.com, and a plan to attack the New York Stock Exchange all turned out to be fake. Or at least not the work of Anonymous. Ultimately, a handful of Twitter channels appeared to broadcast accurate information on anonymous operations. Anything else, however, remains more suspect. Alright, and the author of this is Matthew J. Schwartz. Sorry, man, didn't mean to like jack your shit without giving you credit this far into the video. I'll be sure to put it in the description. Okay, over the last few years, the anti-authority ethos espoused by Anonymous isn't an outlier. Together with WikiLeaks, the group has been operating at a time when global protests have toppled authoritarian regimes, notably through the Arab Spring. In a similar vein, Anonymous threw its weight behind Occupy Wall Street, a movement that coalesced in New York to protest financial sector inequities and excesses, and then quickly spread to other cities and other countries. It was a very, very, very weird kind of thing to watch, because there were all these different campsites, and then there are people complaining. It was the same complaint that the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer, and none of the wealth is being spread around. And my reaction to that and my reply to that is that those people kind of work their fucking asses off for it. And you know what? Yes, they're spending in excesses and inequities and everything else, but at the same time, they got to that point by working their ass off. And at the time, I was like, yeah, fuck Wall Street. And then later I thought about it, I'm like, well, maybe they get the amount of money they get for a point, a reason. So that's my thought on Occupy Wall Street. I mean, the heart was in a good place, but at the same time, it just got insane. If the various Max, what the fuck are you doing? I have nothing more. You're just wandering around, baby. You're just wandering around. My dog. If the various operations orchestrated by Anonymous seem filled with machismo and bluster, some apparently step over the line, even for the group's apparently freewheeling figureheads. Notably, after the alleged disappearance of pro-Anonymous activist in Mexico, Anonymous announced that he'd been kidnapped by the Zetas drug cartel. And Anonymous promised to publicize the name of every Zeta informer or collaborator that could get its hands on. But warnings from security experts that any such... Knock it off, Max! God damn. Anyways, warnings from security experts that any such moves might put not only Anonymous members, but also Mexicans caught in the middle at risk, seem to kill the so-called op cartel. So, it's just... It's strange, because there's so much that Anonymous can do, and there's so much that, you know, there's so much good in them. They are, in essence, Anakin Skywalker before he goes absolutely insane. They're this kind of pure force for good, but there's a little core of evil in them. Just a little bit. And that's what makes them so great. They're kind of chaotic and everything. Whew, that face never gets old. Okay, is it ironic that the mask worn by Anonymous members comes from V for Vendetta, a 2005 film produced by Warner Brothers, which is part of the MPAA, which backs the type of pro-copyright interests that would seem to offend the beliefs of Anonymous. In fact, a portion of the proceeds from the sale of each mask actually work its way back to the studio. On the other hand, even if the mask sales put a little more money in the Hollywood coffers, having a globally recognizable brand is no doubt priceless for Anonymous. So, they're both helping out the little guy and the big guy. There are gonna be things there. I just like go, and last but not least, and the mask is fucking awesome. I'm not even gonna deny that bullshit. Okay. When the FBI knocked file sharing site Mega Upload offline for allegedly infringing copyright laws and building a criminal enterprise that helped its eccentric founder, Kim.com, book profits of $175 million, it didn't take Anonymous long to register its disapproval. A statement from the Recording Industry Association of America, the RIAA, lauding the takedown, probably just fanned the flames as Anonymous members joined together, allegedly knocking the website of the Department of Justice, FBI, Motion Picture Association of America, the MPAA, the RAA, and Universal Music Group offline. Holy shit, you do not piss off Anonymous. I'm sorry. You do not. No, 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 no. So, Thezzo, this is what Anonymous is. They are a hacktivist group. They're activists. They are, a force for good in their own weird way. Yes, they came from 4chan, and 4chan is no doubt a weird place, but that was their roots. That was their place of birth. And as everyone knows, everyone in the absolute world, where and how you're born does not determine who you are later on in life. And that's the message. They came from this weirdly chaotic, just bubble of twistedness, and they turned into this beautiful Guy Fawkes masked butterfly. And, it's good. It's good, So, thank you so much for watching. I myself am a fan of Anonymous. Yes, on occasion I do give them shit. But, what? It was kind of strange. Because I posted a video a while back and I asked what the fuck where the fuck were they during the recovery efforts for the aftermath of the mass shootings and all that, and I'm not gonna get back into that. And almost an hour later they posted this video called Anonymous Accomplishments or